This special teacher workshop took place in the Newark, New Jersey public schools in January of 2012 at the Spencer School for teachers from the entire school district. The occasion was a professional staff development day, and teachers elected to attend the workshop. Teachers are asked to be learners as they experience some examples of activities from the Instrumental Enrichment program. Here, the learners are asked to examine the color designs on the chart on your screen and decide what are the organizational principles used in designing the chart.
Two possible criteria, something to do with color and something to do with number. Did anybody else have something similar? Any other group?
In this chart, individual stencils have been placed on top of each other to make various composites. Learners are now asked to look at the composites and decide which individual stencils were used to make each composite and in which sequence, using their reasoning power.
Because my brain just wants an answer.
Okay.
My brain wants an answer. I want to figure it out.
Okay, and why is that?
I don't know, some inborn instinct. I need to figure it out.
Right. Okay, good answer. You had another answer?
The sharing of ideas leads to greater thought.
That's a very important point.
We tend to think in our schools that if we teach a content area like math, we're automatically teaching thinking. But in fact, these things require thinking. They don't always teach thinking. And what you just did as an activity here required you to think, and in talking about it and working it through, you actually got more efficient. I saw you go on from one problem to another and then say, let's take a harder one. So my question to you is, can you think of a thinking skill that you had to use to solve this problem? Just in the vernacular, we're not looking for fancy words for thinking skills. Deduction? Mm-hmm. Grouping things together. Okay, it must be green. It has to be yellow. It has to be a square. What else? Reasoning. Sorry? Reasoning, yeah, that's a very generic one, isn't it? You had to, guess what, stop and think. So this works to restrain impulsivity. You can be impulsive, but to solve it, you have to restrain impulsivity. Would you like it if your kids did that? Yeah. What's another one? Order. See, does the sequence matter? It's critical. You can't get the right answer unless you get the sequence right. But guess what? Some people started at the top, and others started at the bottom. And others started just with color. It's only green and white, so we can ignore all the others. Oh, eliminating. That might be a thinking skill. What else? Trial and error works very well. And where are you trying it out? And what do we call it when you try out an idea in your head? Hypothetical thinking, abstract reasoning. We all run around saying we wish our kids would think hypothetically. Well, you have to on this. Okay, what's another thinking skill you probably used?
A lot of times when we talk with the kids in preschool, we talk about does color matter?
Does color matter? Oh, good. What were the other attributes that mattered? There's a nice word for you. Shape and color and order, right? Is holding 2 or 3 ideas in your head at the same time necessary to be a good thinker? If they could do that, they'd be better at math, wouldn't they? So you had to hold simultaneously color, shape, order. And then you had to explain it to somebody else. David didn't let you work alone. Was it hard to tell somebody else and get them to see it how you were seeing it? So there's some empathy, communication, understanding another point of view. I heard some people saying, wait, don't start there. Wait, look at it this way. Okay? Any other thinking skills you're pretty sure you used? Well, guess what? I think I could go down a list of thinking skills and hit almost every one. Gathering complete information, defining a problem, checking for error, working in order, thinking hypothetically, right? And so when we talk about teaching children to be good thinkers, we need to be aware of component parts and recognizing what's missing when children can't do a task.
In this instrument, called comparisons, learners are asked to compare the pairs of drawings by finding similarities and differences according to specific comparative criteria.
The one on the right. Eyes open and eyes closed. And we probably wouldn't have a big argument about that. That's pretty straightforward. Now, notice about what you would do in the similarity, or what says common. All right? And I'd like you to listen to what each other says, and it's okay to change your mind based on what you hear somebody else say. So, you're not limited to one word. In fact, a phrase enables you to be more precise. So what would be something you could write in the common blank? Yeah. All right, notice what, again, smiling boy. Okay, now notice what she did, and that was good. She could have said just boy, but by adding smiling, what did she do for us? She eliminated all the pictures of boys in the world which are not smiling. And that's one of the goals of a good statement of similarity, is it becomes as precise and narrow as possible. Now, I'd like to know if somebody would be willing to challenge her on boy. Yeah, all right. You already decided it's a girl. What's your evidence? A 50-50 chance, okay. Guess what? We don't have the evidence. So what are we limited to doing here if we don't have the evidence? Yeah, we may just have to say child. Maybe it's not a child, right? Maybe we have to say person, okay? What else could you say about the descriptors for the person there? You got smiling, we got that already. What else? Okay. Look carefully at the pictures. What is true otherwise about those two pictures? Okay, but describe it, okay? Black hair, okay? What else? I'm sorry? Okay, he's got a cowlick, absolutely. All right. So, and some people will say facing to my right, or facing to his or her left. You can add on and add on and add on. Each time you do that, you become more precise.
Learners are now asked to use the same strategies to compare the pairs of words instead of pictures for similarities and differences.
What's going to be different when we compare words as opposed to pictures? Let's do the first one together. Now, it's the same thing. You find the similarity.
Visualize it.
Again?
Now you have to visualize what
Right.
it looks like.
You have to visualize it. And so now we're dealing with written language that you have to decode and call up an image in your mind, the things we do automatically. And so what would you say for the similarity of a church and factory? Okay, buildings, yeah, can you add an adjective in front of that to narrow it down? No, that's the differences. We're still on the similarity. What kind of buildings? No, I don't mean what it's made of. Well, some people say public buildings. I'm rushing a little bit because I want to be sure we have time for this. But if every time you can add an adjective, you help yourself to be more precise. Okay, now the differences. I heard someone say, yes, go ahead. Tell me what you think the differences are.
Work and worship.
I hope somebody will disagree with that. What's wrong with that? Work and worship. And you can worship in a factory. Sorry. All right, now, but that, what?
Sweat and perfume.